10:11 right here on this 8th day of February. Susie Sweetman teaching everybody the life-saving skills of CPR, especially, with all the, news stories coming out and the terrible, situation with Damar Hamlin. I mean, there is no better time really to talk about, ways we can take this class, and to have you at our disposal teaching this for us. That's awesome. How are you this morning?
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for asking. And yes, I am so excited to be teaching CPR. I love teaching. I mean, I've been in the community a long time teaching personal training, boot camps. So this is kind of like my next little niche.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
Well, and too, a lot of people are. I was talking to Dallas Smarts about your class and so many folks, and it seems like you had a great turnout at your last one. And what I like is you make it engaging. It's not just, the open up the book or, it kind of gets stale. You keep it fun.
I've taken CPR a lot.
Right.
Since my personal training, we had to certify every 2 years. And so I have taken it probably 15 years. But I did have an instance truly happen to me where I had a friend of mine that I literally had to do CPR on. Oh. And I think that God works in mysterious ways. And I think it was kind of a calling for me to do it because I do love teaching. And so I feel very passionate about it. And I do enjoy letting people know the information that could save someone's life. And right. I will say this, if you have to do it, it is a life-changing experience for each individual. And this was a friend of mine, a coworker, but I often think that what if it was your spouse or your child? Yeah. So the adrenaline that runs through your body when you're performing this is really overwhelming.
And I wanted to ask you, if it's okay, how that experience, because a situation in class can only, teach you so much to prepare you for that real world experience. I mean, right off the bat, I don't think I would know what to do if I saw somebody in distress.
I think that's part of it. And I said, I go back to my training days to where it's almost like a muscle memory situation. Okay. I think that they do require you to do it every 2 years. And I think that is because that way you're confident. In my situation, there were many people in the shop with us, but honestly, there's a panic that takes over. Right. And everybody called 911 and everybody was trying to help. But as far as actually doing the CPR, there was a man helping me, and then I did the compressions because it is a panic. And you're like, do I do it? Do I not? And
right.
That's what I try to get through to people. I teach them when you do it. It seems to be that's a question. Well, how do I know to do it? Well, that's where the training comes in. That's what I teach. I teach you to know the differences between a heart attack, a stroke, things like that.
Wow.
So that you can be their first responder.
That's incredible. And that's something I wouldn't even have thought about taking your class because, I mean, honestly, if you could, not to give your class away, but if you could fill us in maybe a tidbit thing, how does a heart attack look differently than a stroke?
Because with a heart attack, and if they're down, as my friend was, after I did the shout and tap and I called his name, there was no reaction. So I knew that we had to move on to CPR. With a stroke, the facial might have different distortions. Maybe they're still speaking to you. So there's a lot of different things that you kind of do a check, and that is part of the class is to do the check. But the thing about it, it's the panic that sets in with people. So that's why everybody needs to do it. And even if you haven't done it for 5 years, you need to do it again.
See, and that's the thing because, and just from when I took the class in high school, and we had a great instructor, he was awesome. But he even said, he was like, actually sometimes the technique even changes. I think it was, he was talking about whenever he first started doing CPR, the mouth to mouth was the, the big... Or the Heimlich thing was still going on. He goes, no, there's different methods. And I didn't realize that. I'd be the guy going because I saw it on TV to do the Heimlich, and that's not really going to be the most beneficial in certain situations.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's what we teach too, is the fact that you're going to do what you are trained to do. So keeping current on it is, I think, a great idea. Yeah. It is life-saving.
Yes.
So my friend unfortunately didn't make it, but I will say this, I was proud of myself and the fact that I did offer him a chance. My coworkers were supportive, and his family was very grateful that we all knew to call 911. We knew to help each other, and I just think that everybody ought to do it. I just actually taught down in East Alton Elementary School. Teachers took it.
That's fantastic.
And I think that really schools ought to do this. Their principals, you need to have someone on staff, because even if it's not a child, it could be another coworker. Yeah. Every office, because I'm telling you, it happens in a split second.
Well, and you know what? My thing is, why, to me, I don't want to ever look back and go, man, I wish I would have taken
exactly.
that class. There's no reason to. If you,
yeah, no, it takes, it's a 3-hour class,
okay,
give or take, and it can save someone's life. I do classes at OSF St. Anthony's. They've been kind enough to offer a spot for me. So I did a class up there just this week, and I have another class February 15th at 5:30. I'm going to have one March 6th up there at 5:30. And all you need to do is give me a ring, and it's 618-920-6816.
Man, that is impressive. I cannot remember my phone number to say. I always tell people that every time it's like, you guys can just read things off. I can't do it. I can't remember to save my life. It's just so terrible. But I really just think this is incredible, because whether you're a coach, whether you're a parent that has a kid that's maybe in sports, it doesn't matter who you are. You need this. And I got to ask you, has there ever been a time where, in the classes you teach, is there a certain average age, or is it all ages of all backgrounds that take your class?
Oh, it's all ages.
Good,
I mean, seriously, honestly, even I would say with the park and rec situations, with having the teenagers do it, I think they should do it.
Yep.
Because, just age doesn't have much. I mean, age has nothing to do with it. No. There's young people that have heart attacks, as we just saw.
Yeah.
So you need to just be prepared, because you're right, CJ. If you're not and something happens, you're just going to feel like you haven't done your part. And so what? It's going to take 3 hours out of your life to do it, and you're ready to go. Plus, I've had a lady, she's going to take it with me. Her husband had a heart attack, and she was home with him, and she said, too, she panicked. But her daughter was there, and the daughter performed it, but she's taken it. She says, I'm never going through that again.
Right.
I'm going to know what to do.
Well, exactly. And that's the thing, because, and I've never been in that situation, but I could only imagine the fear that comes over somebody when they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine it. And a little bit I wanted to ask you about is your background, because you've had, like you said, physical fitness and training, and now you're running shops now, for Coleman's, and you're doing so many great things. Was it just something telling you, I need to do this, it's needed? After
I had my experience with my friend, I was looking for something to kind of challenge myself, CJ, as you and I are talking.
That's true.
I'm the kind of person that needs to keep moving forward. I am semi-retired. I manage 5 Diamond campgrounds down with Brian Campbell and Matt Diamond, and those guys are fantastic. Coleman's, I sell campers a little bit, but I have to stay entertained.
Okay.
And to tell you the truth, I had managed Nautilus Fitness Center for 8.5 years, and I felt like I needed a break, and I took my break. But now I'm ready to get back in the community and do what I love. And I love teaching, and I feel like that I'm meant to do this.
And now and I think you are spot on with this. And I was just wondering, if someone who had a group, like you just said, you went over to East Alton, if there was maybe a group, maybe it's an athletic association of coaches that, wanted to find some time. Do you do group sessions?
Oh, yeah. I've worked with the Irish soccer team. Actually, Dallas came the other day, so we would have the Alton River Dragons, so he would be covered. But I'll also say, this was nice, Linda McCormick. She got a group together, and they came to my home, and I taught them in my living room, and we had a really good time.
I bet.
And she had 7 people, and we all just crawled on the floor and did it. And so I'll come to your home. You can come to my home, or I will come to your office. I'm portable. I can move.
That's awesome. And now I got to ask you, in your training, just because you've taken the class so many times, has any of the material shifted course or anything?
A little bit. People always ask that. And I did go through American Red Cross.
Okay.
So I'm certified through American Red Cross and done my studies and passed my tests and all. But people like, well, you just do compressions now. Well, here's the thing. It's a personal choice. So I always tell people, you don't have to do the breaths, but let's face it, if it's a family or your spouse or your child or a dear friend, whatever, you're going to do the breaths.
Yep.
It's totally up to you, though. So it's just a personal choice. But the compressions are the most important. And if you add breaths, it just gives them that much better chance of making it.
That makes sense. And, to me, too, I think that there's so many. To me, there's no other reason. You guys need to take this class. I can't even stress that enough because it's so important. And, to me, it's like how many times do situations like what we saw in the football game, we've seen it a lot in youth sports with, it's terrible, but I've seen so many stories of young players that are in their, teenager, years, and they're falling over with a heart attack.
Well, I'm going to have a birthday next week, so I'm pretty old. But when I was 14 years old, I went to Calhoun High School, and I had a classmate die of a heart attack on the football field. He had the heart of a 70-year-old, which nobody would know that.
Right.
But again, I know that nobody did CPR. I don't even know if they, again, with the school teachers and different, it doesn't matter who you are.
Exactly.
Or if you're in an insurance office or you're anywhere. Another thing, there was a person I know that was standing in line to get on a plane, and the person in front of them fell and went down. And she performed CPR, and when she asked someone to go get the AED, they were like, we don't know where it is. So if I could give anybody a little thing today just to take with you, if you have an office and you've got a first aid kit, an AED, please make sure that all of your staff knows where it is, because at that point in time, you don't want to waste minutes. And I asked this question, and a lot of people are like, well, yeah, you know what? I don't know if everybody knows where it is, because you hire people different.
Yep.
So then maybe that's just something you don't, but everybody needs to know where it is.
Well, and too, I mean, put it this way, we were in London and we were walking in Kensington, Park, and this individual fell over too. And, by the time we saw what was going on, he was already being tended to, thank goodness, from paramedics. But I mean, even then, just taking a walk down the street, you never know. And I got a question for you. Something I keep thinking about. Is there been a time with all the classes you've taught, maybe somebody got told, hey, you need to take this class, that maybe were abrasive to it at first, and then they kind of saw what you were doing and went, oh my goodness, this really is important?
I think that when people come to the class, for me, I'm kind of a people person, but I think they're a little nervous.
Okay.
And I think most people are a little intimidated by it because they don't quite know how it's going to go. But I can tell you, and just by listening to me, and I've been around the community a lot, I will make you feel comfortable.
Yep.
And I know within the first 5 minutes, everybody's okay, it's just Suze, we can do this.
Right.
So don't be intimidated by it, because I take my time with you. We just talk. In fact, I love it because it's almost like a boot camp. We work together. It's a teamwork situation, which is what I love. And so, no, nobody needs to be intimidated by it. Just give me a ring, and we're going to walk our way through it, and you're going to have a good time learning.
That's incredible. So, and now, just because I can't remember what I got to take your classes, but the bottom line is there a test or anything afterwards?
I do not give a test.
Okay.
What I do is we just go through it together.
Awesome.
And I think that's the first thing everybody always, their eyes are wide open and they think there's going to be a test and their palms are sweating. What I do is I literally go through it with you. We just review it, we do it, and it seems to me that it works better with people. I'm a hands-on person.
Exactly.
So no, you get on I have the equipment, we get on the floor, we do the compressions. I also cover choking, to how to help a child or a baby choking, and adults. I do first aid. So not just CPR. I cover a lot of different things, how to tend to a wound, bleeding. So I can go into a lot of different avenues depending on how much you want.
Wow. That is really remarkable. And I mean, honestly, there is nobody better to teach this than yourself.
You,
and I mean
CJ.
that truthfully.
Thank you.
And I mean, whenever you were talking about the class at first, I'm going, well, it's fun, but do I have to take that test?
I know, right. Yeah, nobody wants
incredible.
to take the test. Yes. Years ago when I did it, I mean, I've been doing it, OSF offered it, and one of the sisters taught it. Now I'm talking 15 years ago, and sister, she gave that test.
Uh-oh.
And there was no messing around. And so anyway, but it has, as everything, it's lightened up, and it is more of a teamwork effort.
Well, to me, I think if you're just if you're focused on a test, you aren't going to really retain that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we just kind of take that out of it. But no, we get down on the floor. You practice with other people. I always ask, like we do the choking and the maneuvers and things. But I'll always ask if you're not comfortable with it, then we work around it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. And so I mean, we could talk about this forever because there's so many great life-saving skills. But the only thing left to do is to tell you guys to take Susie's class. We've been talking for about 15 minutes now on ways that CPR really could benefit you, and whether you're a teacher, a coach, just a student,
just a person.
And is there an age limit on your classes if there's a 16-year-old going into?
No.
Okay.
And I will say even young mothers.
Yes.
You had Brush in here yesterday,
Yep.
Liz and Jessica.
Yep.
So Liz had hired me to come up to Brush. And so all those girls are young mothers. So they all they were my first people. They took the class because they were concerned about their infants and how to care for their infant. And so young mothers, even if there's a group of young moms, come to my house or I'll come to yours because it could help you help your baby.
Well, I mean, I am blown away, and I love it because you are so, whenever you do something, you don't half-ass it, you do it.
No, I don't.
And I just think it's great because you're going to be there for us if we really want to learn. And once again, just because we got about 2 minutes left, when's your next class?
My next class is at OSF St. Anthony's, and it is March 15th. It is $65. And it starts at 5:30. And I'm also going to have one March 6th at 5:30 at OSF St. Anthony's. But you can call me at 618-920-6816. And I also have a thing on Facebook now, and it's Susie Sweetman CPR First Aid Training Center. You could go on there and contact me or even personally. But please reach out to me, whether you want to do it now or in your home or with friends. Please let me help you with this.
Absolutely. And I mean that. I couldn't even reiterate that again because you never know when you're going to need it. And you don't want to say, wow, I wish I would have called Susie and learned. I mean, and that's just the bottom line. And speaking of OSF Healthcare, thank you for reminding me. Jerry Rump is the president of OSF Healthcare. He will be on tomorrow in studio with Randy at 9:20. I forgot to tell people that. And when he said that, I went, I think I got it.
No, he's been kind. I work with St. Anthony's. I've been with them a long time. Even when I did my boot camps, they hired me. They're big supporters of me. I do serve on their board, and he's been kind enough to help me with this. And so I really appreciate it.
I just think it's great. And Susie, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, hanging out with me for about 18 minutes, talking all the things about CPR. And I could talk to you forever. And we got to take a break, though, because Hidden Lake Winery, they got a new head chef. He joins us from Google Meet. We're going to talk about his new menu, what he's looking to do, and have some fun with it. So right now it's 10:28, a quick break on this 8th day of February. I'll be right back after this.